LBI. You gotta say where it's from,
Go.
please.
Okay. I have an LBI story when we had the little house, and Kim and Richie used to come down a lot. And this one night, we were sitting in the little kitchen area, where you could see the back of the house where the bathroom and the bedrooms were, and
Yeah.
whatever. And I think we were playing cards or something. And all the kids were sleeping in the back room in bunk beds. And all of a sudden, little Eddie gets up, and he comes out and he looks, naturally Kim starts laughing. What's he doing? I said, I don't know where he's going. And next thing I know, he goes over by the refrigerator, because we had the refrigerator in front of the bathroom, and he opens up the refrigerator door, and at that point I realized what he was going to do, because he reached down to he was going to go to the bathroom. He thought he was in the bathroom.
Oh my
God. So I had to run and get him and direct him to the bathroom.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
sleepwalking.
Oh my God.
Oh, how about when Peepaw used to go to LBI?
Oh,
with
we
you?
had a lot of fun with
Oh,
Peepaw.
God.
We built the table together, the one that folded down.
Mhm.
And then the one time I said, Peepaw, the house really needs to be painted. He said, all right. He said, I'll come down. He says, I'll help you. So there we
We used to
were.
like to go
The
there.
kids would be in the yard or doing whatever they were doing. And there was Peepaw and I. We have pictures painting the outside of the house. When Eddie came down on the weekend, we had the house painted. But the best was, I'd be down LBI with Peepaw, and it would be Friday, and your brother was going to be
Come
coming
down
down
on
that,
the weekend.
at night. And I'd say, okay, and I'd get the kids in the shower, and I'd shower them all up and whatever, and I'd be polishing their shoes, the white and the brown and whatever, and I'd dress them all up and whatever, and then they'd want to go outside, and I'd say, all right, now go outside, but don't get dirty because Daddy's coming, and Peepaw would die laughing. He'd say, you put him outside with all these clean clothes and tell them not to get dirty,
Daddy's
My mother used to do that. Pair of shoes for this one, pair of shoes for this one, and each one would be polished every single night,
Yeah.
lined up.
And how about the brown at the bottom?
The brown around the bottom, I did it for Roy and Richie. They started wearing sneakers when he started walking.
Got a little bit easier.
Yeah, and
So
today
Peepaw is Pop Donnelly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
your father.
Grandpa done.
And what year did you buy? What year?
When Christopher was born, 1973.
Wow.
the little house.
And he
Yeah,
was,
the first. The first one. Right?
yeah. And Peepaw loved that house because
Oh, yeah.
he'd go down for weeks at a time. Sometimes I wouldn't even be there because he liked the water, he liked fishing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of
He was there a
a
lot.
lot of pictures.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of things
He
together.
would love the boat that your son,
Oh yeah.
little Eddie, has now.
We call him Daddy. And Eddie said to me, he was down again
Isn't
yesterday.
Eddie's boat the Here We Go Again?
No, yeah, your brother Eddie's boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His boat he's trying to get rid of.
Whose?
My son's boat.
He's trying to sell.
He's trying to sell that.
Oh, he wants to.
So in the meantime, he's getting his father's boat ready
Ready.
for the summer. But he was working on it,
So he won't have a boat at all? Little Eddie?
Your brother won't have a boat. He'll be using his father's boat.
Oh.
Like Christopher said, he said, Mom, he's down there. He's getting the boat fixed up for himself. He said, Daddy, Eddie doesn't go out in the boat that much.
No kidding.
No, one time
You don't
last
have
year, he
Gary
took me in and out of the
Canal.
lagoons. We drive around, come out, drive in, come out. We found somebody that had Donnelly on their
How about when Roy and little Roy were down in Brigantine, went out on the boat with Eddie? And who was with them? Little Eddie?
Probably.
And they got stuck in the mud, and little Roy had to jump out of the boat, swim to the other side of the boat,
and shake it
and
off.
shake it off the ground that they had gotten stuck
They
on.
ran aground.
But then the boat took off, and Tiny Roy's Roy, almost got left there. The boat gets off the mud and takes off, and he had to get to them. But thank
He
God for
had
the
to
Coast
swim
Guard.
after the boat to get it back in. It was funny.
Okay, so that wasn't the first time or the only time that's happened, because it was me, Roy, Big Eddie, and Little Eddie, and we were out on, I don't know, one of their boats in the bay. and
Yes.
we ran aground.
Yes.
I mean, we just came to a dead stop.
Yeah.
Roy ended up going forward. And Big and Little were on the ground. Thank God I was sitting down. And then,
Didn't Roy almost get hurt?
yeah.
He did get
And
hurt.
then, and then an hour later or so, a fog came in, and thank God we were only in the bay. A fog came in,
Couldn't see.
and we couldn't see 20 feet in front of us. So now, little Eddie has one eye.
Mhm.
Big Eddie has glasses that are probably that thick. My brothers are just a little thinner than that. I'm on the front of the boat going, go that way, there's a buoy over there. I mean, we could, and we had a 60-foot boat following us who had radar, but it wasn't working. And now we got like this train of boats behind us, and I'm thinking,
They're gonna
And
hit
they're
us.
leading you.
this,
You're
yeah,
leading
we're
them.
leading them out of the, yeah, oh, yeah, that was.
I can imagine.
Oh my God.
He always went aground.
They were
Cito
always
knew
getting
by
stuck.
Oh,
touch.
I know, because he was always calling them. How about the time that Eddie, my son Eddie, was still at home because we lived on Stecker Avenue in Union, and he was out on the boat with his dad, all right? And they got stuck in this storm, all right? Now, like you said, Eddie's trying to, the windshields are going like this on the boat, all right? My son is trying to see, and his father's crying on the boat. Please get me back to Leanne, please, please, I'll do anything. I'll make up with my sister Flo, just get me back on Leanne, I promise, I'll talk to her tomorrow. Please, please. And then he's going, Dad, please, shut up, sit down.
It was a bad storm. I remember that.
Put a buoy on yourself, you know, it'll be okay, I'm getting in. Meanwhile, he said, Mom, the rain is going, the wipers are going back and forth, I can't see in front of me, I'm trying to shut him up. Finally, they get in, and when Eddie did come home that night, he said, Ma, I have a story to tell you. And he sat at the end of my bed and told me this story, and we were dying laughing. He said, I couldn't shut the man up. He said, he's crying. Please, I promise, I'll talk to Flo, I'll do anything.
It was
Get me
really,
back
I
up
mean,
there."
that had to be bad for him to say that.
Yeah.
You know, but I remember that story. It was bad.
Okay, I got another one. So, me, little Eddie, and then the two kids, little, and Ryan,
Okay.
went out on Eddie's boat, and he wanted to back up to this little island where I guess they go swimming and
Tyson
stuff.
Shoal, maybe?
No, not that one. This
Okay.
is over by Sandy Hook.
Okay.
That's when he was docked farther
Further
north, like in a
north.
highland. So we back up, and the kids jump out, and they're like playing in the water and all, and the kids come back in, and he's like, Stein, I'm stuck. I said, what do you mean you're stuck? He goes, I think the propeller is like, wedged in the rocks or something. I said, are you kidding me? He's like, all right, I'm gonna jump out. And now he's like swimming, he's like going into the water trying to figure out. And now he's in the water, and he wants me to drive the boat. I'm like, Ed, I feel like I'm gonna turn him into chum because I don't know how to drive a boat. I'm gonna take off,
And
leave
the thing is gonna be
leave
swimming.
Eddie on the island, and then not be able to come back around because I don't know how to drive a boat. And thank God he wedged it back and forth.
But he doesn't swim. That's the crazy part.
Little,
No, this is little Eddie.
little.
Oh,
Eddie.
oh,
No,
oh,
not
oh.
big. No, Eddie's little.
I know no one
Oh.
could. He's right, but no one could believe that your brother doesn't swim and he was in the Navy.
Yeah, he
When I
said
was
he
little.
cheated, but I don't know how. I'd like to see the video of that. He said he hung on the side of the wall, and he had a
Doggy paddle.
doggy paddle for 4 minutes,
Mm.
and he just cheated. And they said, you passed. And he never
He probably
swam.
did.
Daddy never swam either.
No.
We're
It's
up,
amazing.
we're up with all the kids, Jackie, Amy, me, Big. We went to Doris and Bob's. And
Hackettstown.
in Hackettstown, and they got a pool, and everybody's partying and having fun. Kids are playing nice, they're all in the pool. And Peepaw takes off his pants, he's in his underwear, boxers. He walks over to the edge of the pool, and he jumps in. Big Jackie had to jump in and save him. He just went down like a lead. He never swam. Why would you, I think it was the beers, why would you jump in a pool? It was like 6 feet. And he was only like 5'4".
Because I remember I was at Doris and Bob's.
We were all
when
there
Jackie
together.
and Eddie were in carriages. I
Yeah,
think I
yes.
met Christopher at the
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
I
And
remember that.
Daddy jumped in and he almost drowned.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Nobody, I mean, I don't know how to swim. Eddie don't know how to
And
swim.
well,
Daddy.
Daddy used to say, when he would go way out in the ocean, he'd say, well, you have that letter that Daddy wrote about his escapade in the ocean when the Coast Guard had to come and try to save him, our dad.
I don't remember. You gave it to me?
I gave it to Eddie. Eddie has a copy.
I don't think Eddie gave it to me. I don't remember this, what you're
Where
saying.
would it be?
Well, one time Daddy took me tuna fishing. Tuna. They're this big. With all the guys, Max McCain, Al Rustomborski, Splaney, and I got so scared, we went like 3 hours out,
Yeah, they go.
and
And
all of a sudden, these fish are flopping around, and Splaney took me downstairs because I was crying. They were big giant fish. He hit a school of tuna and was pulling them in. Little Eddie would love this. Pulling them in, and they were flopping around.
Around the boat.
And they were just had to keep getting them because it was a lot of fish, a lot of money for that fish. And Splaney was drunk, sitting downstairs in the hall, singing to me because we were going like this. They were pulling in fish. All I did was cry. I never went fishing. That's when he started sending me because he used to have to take me with him down the shore,
Oh, to go fishing.
and I had to go out on the boat.
He took me out one time,
Oh.
and he insisted on me going with him, and I said, Dad, I don't like water. I don't like to be out that far where I can't see land. He said, don't worry about it, we're not going that far. Well, he went far. There was no sight of land. I said to him, take me back. I don't like where I am. And he said, was there a storm coming? Something happened. And I think I started crying. That always works. And
Yeah,
I
me too.
said, Dad, I don't know how to swim. He said, don't worry about it. I don't know how either. I was like, are you kidding me? And that's when I first found out he didn't know how to swim. He said, what's going to happen? I ain't going to make it to shore anyway, so I might as well go right down. I can't swim anyway. That's the way he thought.
Those were the
Eddie-
good old days with fishing, though, because I remember Eddie, brother Eddie. He came to 215 Railroad Avenue with a garbage can
Full
filled
of fish.
with fluke,
Oh,
and just
yeah.
dumped them out. I mean, they came back with so many fish back.
You don't find that today.
No, why?
And when I say tuna, right, they were the size of my leg, like fat tuna.
Yeah.
And they were flopping. He had them all over the front of the boat. And I was in the hole. I didn't have to go by them. But I could see them flopping around.
Oh.
When they got back, they would spend all those hours cutting them and skinning them.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't want to be near any of it. So from 12 on, Peggy had me. Yeah, from 12 until junior year of high school, when I moved in with Mrs. Amarin. And 50 years later, my therapist asked me, how did you feel when your father said yes for you moving out? And I was like, I never thought of that. I said, why? She said, somebody asked you to move in and said, I'm going to call your father and ask him if you can move here. And I said, well, he's not going to let me. And she called and he said, yeah, she can go. And I moved in with them. And my therapist, when I started going to her, she couldn't figure out why I had 6 brothers and sisters and nobody took her. She said, did you ever ask your sister? She was married. Why didn't she take you? And I said, I never thought about it.
I never thought about it. I
No.
had 2 little
So on the way
babies.
home every night when I come from therapy on a Thursday night, I'd call her in the car. She'd say, what'd you talk about today? I go, the lady wants me to ask why you never took me. And she's like, what? I said, she said, did you ever ask your sister? I said, but you had 3 kids of your own. And well, she actually had 2.
But you
And,
know what? I guess in my mind, even though it wasn't good for her, there was
Huey,
Huey,
Eddie.
Jimmy,
Oh, Jimmy
Eddie was in
home
the
too?
service. Jimmy was home, yeah.
yeah, Jimmy, my father, and Beanie. So there were 4 of them in the one house.
But it was an orphanage because
But yeah, there was
nobody
no
cooked. There was
companionship.
no nothing. Like, you know,
Huey was
you have
at
to
the
eat
church,
French
my
fries or
father was
something.
in a bar, and Jimmy was,
Out. He had
Out.
girlfriends in a convertible and stuff. And Flo would be down in Wildwood with Doc Cavell or somebody, you know, so everybody was doing their own thing. And Mrs. Arman said, you're here all the time. Why don't you just move your clothes in? And I said, thank you, Jesus. And that's what I did. But I never thought that there was anything wrong with that.
Mhm.
And I was always comfortable there.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
so
the
it
thing.
was, you know, she made it easy.
yeah, she was a good lady.
Very good.